Okay, yeah, I'll tell you who I am. So, apparently, so my name is Musa. That's my name. I used to follow, I talked to Jared a couple of times years ago. So I'm just here to just drop by and see, go with this group chat. I followed Glen's material here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
Your name is what? What again?
Hello? Pardon me?
Yes. Your name, how do you say your name?
Musa, Musa.
Okay, M-U-S-A.
Yeah.
Okay. You're a geopolitical junkie.
Yeah, that's
right?
the one. Yeah, he saw me. Yeah, he saw me there. Yeah.
I was never really sure, like, who you are, because on Facebook, the internet, you have, like, it seems like you have many, many different stock accounts.
No, yeah, just forget about those. Those are my old ones. It's a long story. Okay, so my Musa's my real name. That's because you saw me. You saw my old Facebook account. I was talking about, like, do you know what I was doing there?
I don't know what you were doing. I to tell you the truth, I don't even know if I can even trust you. I don't know, like, what your agenda is. I'm not sure. I always see you. You're always there somewhere lingering around. You make comments that are a little weird sometimes. And I don't know who you are. I think you have. I remember speaking to you. I know you have, like, a brother. I don't know if that's true. I guess you had two of you guys, and both of you have different accounts, right?
He was my brother. He was my brother.
So.
No, okay. So it's a long story. So you saw. Okay, yeah. So, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, it's because the way I talk, sometimes, I'm not coherent. So that's why when I leave a comment, it's probably that's why it seems confusing. And it's a long story. Like, I think you and me, we first came to contact back in, like, 2013, maybe?
Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm like doing 10 things at once.
Well, Musa, what is your interest now in rejoining, about all of this? Where are you coming from?
Yeah, so, I'm the, what do you call it? Just got some interest in, like, the truth community or the conspiracy community, even though you don't call that conspiracy because, long story, Alan Watt would say this and that. I came across Glen's material after, because of Alan Watt's material, and then that stuff.
Well, I personally, I don't like this link or under conspiracy community because I unfortunately was there. And that was because of David Icke and the media's agenda. Okay, and I was used. And then I was used for the purpose I was put in that position should anything else ever come up in which I might become involved, which some people already knew about Glen and I and our history, which goes back many, many years before I ever became involved in the conspiracy thing with, David Icke thing. And so now it gets used against me in order for people to say she's nuts, she's crazy, she's off her rocker, which is being said about me. And I don't care because I know what happened, and the cell investigators know what happened. Creation knows what happened, and Glen knows what happened. So I, at the time, did not realize what was going on. And everything that I told David Icke became his story, history. Everything that I told him, my story got lost in what was being done with me. So I ended up, because of all of that, meeting people on the conspiracy circuit that put out all these things. As far as I'm concerned, they're either they don't have a clue and they're being used, or they know exactly what they're doing and they are spreading stories. They are being funded. They are being allowed to have their material out. And all these things are being allowed. They are no threat to the system. None. That's why they're out there. They're not a threat. Glen was a threat.
Mm-hmm.
That's why...
Yeah, continue. Yeah, continue.
Okay. So Glen was a threat to the system. I'm a threat to the system. I know what it's really all about, and I know what's going on. And I was purposely kept out of Canada. I was purposely kidnapped out of our front yard in 2015 by criminals, the OPP, who handed me over to the CBSA, who took me to the border, and they threw me out on the road 3 times in about 12 hours. Then they put me in jail. Then they threw me out on the road again on US 9/11 that year. Then they put me back in jail because I walked back again. And then they illegally took me out of Canada against the order of a judge. So I know that I'm a threat to them just because I know the truth. And I have a project. It has to be done. It's been passed on to me, and I have to return at some point to Canada to that property, and that project has to happen. That is what creation wants done. And it has to be done.
Okay, so I do agree with you. That's why I don't like using conspiracy, and I do know, like earlier, because I mean, listening to you or Alan Watch, because like they're the alternative media. They're still like with the system, and they still promote like live animation and that kind of stuff to misdirect people. I don't. So yeah, in a sense, saying conspiracy sort of goes against me for partly because even then they sort of created a lot of that.
Hey, Musa, I wanted to ask you. I remember you telling me I guess you had some type of relationship with Jordan. Do you remember Jordan Womble?
I know Jordan Womble. What about him?
How did you guys know each other?
No, so apparently, okay, so I'll tell you. Okay, let's recap here, okay? So my name is Musa. And so Jordan, so back in 2012, okay, this is what Jordan Womble. So back in 2012, I was into like the truth videos, and so back in 2009, I was like, young kid, like 12, maybe 15, 14 years old, and just the usual stuff like 9/11 and here and there. But then, of course, there's Alex Jones. Then I slowly, passing interest, I went back and forth into this kind of stuff. Back in 2009, there was a YouTuber named Matthew Ringrose. He was do you remember that guy?
No, I don't know that person.
Matthew Ringrose. His channel is called Earth Last Hope. He was pretty popular on YouTube in the year 2009. So I mean, I was a big fan of his videos. But then what happened is he went to jail, or I don't know what happened, and so he led me to Bill Cooper's material because Matthew Ringrose was saying that Alex Jones plagiarized off of Bill Cooper, the same way how we say Alan Watts plagiarized out of Glen Kealey. But so I watched Bill Cooper's material, and then I liked his material, but then his material led me to Alan Watts. So I liked Alan Watts. Alan Watts has really clear-cut stuff, and it was pretty deep. So then, of course, I found Glen Kealey, and then Jordan Womble, I found his stuff somewhere like in between. Like what happened is, so I found, I was going between Alan Watts' material and Glen Kealey's material, and then I saw like a picture of a long-haired dude. Then that turned out to be Jordan Womble. So I did watch a few of his clips here to there. And around that time, that's when I talked to you. I first reached out to you when I saw Jordan Womble's material. Right?
So, okay, I mean, I'm just learning how you even found me.
No, because I think I found you through Glen Kealey's material, or you had a channel and you had Glen Kealey's videos. Yeah, apparently, unfortunately, Jordan Womble, he committed suicide, right?
I heard he died, and it was supposedly through suicide. So I don't.
No, like what happened? Like what I personally think is like Jordan Womble. I'll give you some quick 2 cents what he did. Like he acted like a control freak to some extent. And if you saw this guy, and like he transubstantiated himself with like, I mean, he found Glen Kealey's material and he started like appropriating his stuff with his own stuff, and it's confusing. There's a lot of things, and he started stuff talking on the computer. But then over time, I feel like Jordan drifted away from Glen Kealey's material and moved more into the new agey type of stuff, and he started mixing things here and there. I don't know. I think he just transubstantiated himself, brainwashed himself. He acted like a control freak from here to there, and then he shot himself in the head because he first got a criminal record by uploading a policeman's voice or something like that. Like his second criminal record, he lost his job, and then he talked to some British guy named Old Kendall who convinced him that if you wanted rainbow aura, then kill yourself and go to the next dimension. It's just this new age spiritual stuff he was brainwashed with. That's all I know about. Like, I was never really into it. You told me he was a psychopath because he almost beat up he almost assaulted an elderly person. So I sort of like, I agree with you, and I just like stopped, digging deep into Jordan Womble's material. Also, the reason why you see I had these side accounts was because I was brainwashed myself. You saw me posting shit about Afghan politics on my Facebook. But it wasn't against you, though. It was more against like some Pakistani Afghan people on the internet I disagreed about, or it also I was Muslim, and that's why I had the side accounts here and there, and that's why you see these things here and there.
Yeah, I remember you used to post every day about like this Afghan or in Pakistan politics or something every day.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's another long story because what happened. We can talk about it later on right now, but I'm past that. I don't know. I was wasting my own time over there. But yeah, what actually happened was, I'll tell you.
Is that where you're from? Where are you from exactly?
No, I'm from Pakistan. That's my nationality. But it's super complicated because I don't know what happened to me, but I just got super interested into like genealogies and like ancestries, and so that's why this whole thing came about. But then I don't know, the politics stuff just got me on the hook, and I just started like fucking. I transubstantiated myself. I got drunk on my own shit, so that's probably how I was when I saw me back then. Does that make sense?
A little bit.
My brother, I do have a brother. He was somebody else. It's only because I thought Glen's material was interesting, so I tried to get my brother to contact, and you talked to him too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, but then I think he stopped going into his material only because he was saying like Glen's stuff was too hard to understand. So I think, I don't know, he's not that into it anymore. Or at least, the alternate reality stuff. Yeah.
Okay, well, was supposed to have somebody else emailing me.
So is Dana or Zach coming?
Who? Dana? I sent him an email, but he's with his family right now, and
what about Zach?
He knows Zach. You speak to him?
No, because actually I had he commented on my channel, so we also talked within among ourselves here and there.
You also talk to what? You said?
No, because I think I commented on his videos. Then so he offered me to chat with him. I gave him my number, and so we just so far we talked one time over the phone. We're going over gun stuff and of course other things too. Yeah, but I'm telling you, I was brain I can. It's another story, a long story. I don't know. Next time, that's not right now because I guess you guys gotta focus on something else. And I put my face on my YouTube channel so that you guys know who I am. It's just so right?
You still there, Jenny?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Ben, are you there? Let me see if Ben is. Yeah.
Wait, who's coming?
There's another guy. I don't think you know him. I don't think.
Okay. What's his name? I might know this guy. Is he from investigations?
Maybe. Yeah. No, I don't think so. No.
Is his name Ben
He
Smart?
might be in there. What? Yeah, Ben Smart.
That guy, yeah. I remember him because I think you were on investigations. He posted a video about a guy washing dishes, and then you were saying to him you were wasting his time, and then he got a group or something, right?
I don't know.
No, because Ben Smart was a guy on the investigations group. He posted a video that you thought was I don't know what happened, or he disappeared. So I thought because maybe he didn't delete him, but then I talked to this guy on my own with him later on. So.
Oh, well, Ben is a guy. For me, he's a guy from UK. He would do his research, things like that. I think he hosted some type of MMA. He's very involved in MMA, mixed martial arts, sports, and I lost contact with him over the years, so I don't know what's going on with him.
Okay, good thing he's here now.
What happened?
No, good thing he's coming back.
Yeah, so I guess he's, been following this stuff, I guess, from a distance, like a lot of people do.
Okay.
And, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry I misbehaved. I know you tried to stop me, acting like an idiot. I will not make the file counts. If I do, I'll just say it's me, and I don't know. It's just I did have an agenda, and I'm not saying it was you guys weren't the main target. It was the Afghan politics thing that I had over there. That's probably, or even then I told you I used to be Muslim, and I had these religious arguments over YouTube. So I mean, that's in case anyone got hurt. That's what I'm just telling you what happened to me.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm kind of just expecting other people to come on. I mean, I guess, Jenny, what you were mentioning, you were saying something about, it was something important. You were talking about, you have to go back to the farm.
Yeah, I have to go back because I've been given over the responsibility now because there's a project that has to take place on the farm and it has to be done. And in order for things to happen here that have to happen before creation takes those people that have to go, on to the next universe and leave. And that's why I say it's not about trying to fight the system here. The system here is basically tainted and it's unfixable. And it is directly correlated with why the universe continues to expand at an ever increasing rate because of what they've done here. It's all connected.
Yeah, there was a point, I think it was in 2016.
Well, 2008, I'm told, is when scientists officially concluded that the universe was
That's when it was, yeah.
expanding and at an ever-increasing rate, faster than they realized. So
it's expanding until it won't be a universe anymore.
Wait, you're telling me scientists did that in 2008?
Huh?
In 2008, who announced that?
Yeah, when they talked about, when they were mentioning 2008, they called it, they presented it that they discovered dark matter, and that.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
And with the dark matter, it being, they saw that it was, they were kind of, it was like they were curious of what it was, and this dark matter actually, there's more of it than I guess is normally supposed to be there, and because of that, it causes it screwed up the I guess that cycle of the universe expanding and contracting, because the universe expands and expands, and then at some point it's supposed to contract, like I guess like everything else.
Football.
Yeah, but it's not contracting; it's expanding, and when it just keeps expanding, it will just won't. Everything that's in place won't be in place to function as a universe, and it was just nothing can live here.
So you're trying to say, like, you were supposed to go on a big bounce or something, but now we're going to a big freeze or a big rip?
Instead of crunching back down the way it was supposed to, it's just going to keep expanding. And at some point, it will basically self-destruct.
Oh, okay. Go on. Let me think. So you want to go back to the farm, right, in Canada?
Say again?
So you're trying to get back, like, a Glen farm, right?
My name is on the paperwork. Okay.
Okay.
So the farm, I have to go back, but I have to wait until the court cleans house up there. And I've been told to wait and take care of the cat. There's a house cleaning that has to take place. And I think it includes the cabal up there that murdered Glen. Because they'd make it pretty hard for me to be there if they are still there, in which they are right now. That includes the OPP and people that have something to do with this from Kempville District Hospital, City of Brockville, bureaucrats in the federal government, bureaucrats in the provincial government, bureaucrats in the municipal government, which include that of Kempville and Brockville, and the CBSA, who don't answer to Canada, they commit treason. They answer to Syrian Maronite priests from the Levant. That's who they answer to. And they were infiltrated by Iranians who are responsible for what happened to me. And I have been told this by Glen, and the cell told him.
Okay. So you're saying it'll clean the house over there?
Creation will clean house.
Okay, creation will clean the house.
You see, what happens is that their God is done with them. This has to do with the whole Northern Hemisphere anyways, because there's supposed to be a shutdown of the Northern Hemisphere on this planet. And then within this 40 years that we're in. And
yeah.
So what I've been told is about the situation up there in Canada is that their God is done with them. And their God, whatever they call him, is done and is going to get rid of them. And we call that death. And what they do is when they die, when those people die, usually a sample of their DNA is taken by the coroner in a funeral home up there, or a funeral home or a coroner will take the sample and it gets sent back to the people that deal with all the batches of DNA and have everything to do with the people, the Cro-Magnon, not Cro-Magnon, the Neanderthals down below, who manage all of the recipes. Okay, and some of that DNA sample put back into the recipe, and then they would return in another life. Because we're all genetically engineered, and every fourth generation, they have to do something to renew that DNA. So these people are promised life, another life for what they do in this life. And if they're, for example, Christians of any faith up there in Canada, like Presbyterian or Methodist or Catholic or whatever, and they do what they're told, or they just do, like committing murder. And then they go to church on Sundays and they commit the act of hypocrisy. Every Sunday they do that when they've murdered somebody, and they go to church and they pretend like they're good Christians. That's hypocrisy.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of their life, because their God's done with them, creation is going to make sure that their DNA never comes back on this planet again for the people that are left here after creation leaves. It's kind of like, when I was a kid and we used to go camping, mm-hmm. and the last day of our camping trip, we would be told, go pick up the trash everywhere. We're going to spend, like 3 or 4 hours picking up trash everywhere, because we're going to leave it in better shape than we found it. Well, it's that same concept. A creation is going to leave this place better before leaving, so that the people that are left here don't have it as bad as they would if these people and their genetic offspring were left free to run things and cause misery. So that's the house cleaning, because when their God kills them through disease, or however their God does it, war, pestilence, famine, disease, car accidents, whatever, however it happens, their DNA is not going to come back here. And neither is the DNA of their offspring, any family members, because they're going to be brought into trial. And they're going to spend a long time waiting in line first, wondering, especially Bell Canada, who are really British Empire loyalists, who are being run by MI6.
Yeah, you can find stuff on the internet about the British Empire loyalists and how they're like basically embedded in Canada.
Embedded up along the coast, up along the border, all the way across Canada, in British Columbia. I mean, they're all embedded there, and their DNA is coming from the same people that went up to Canada. They were either ousted or chose to go at the American Revolution. because the Americans didn't want to be under the British Empire, and MI6 has vowed revenge, which is why the Lou, that's their reason for the Lou at the Sioux. And a reason above them, which is India, is to start getting rid of some of these people. Britain's going to have its own problems. It's already started.
Yeah, I see.
It's a basic cleanup operation, because the whole North Hemisphere is supposed to be basically ended. All the people living there. This is much bigger than just Canada.
Yeah. But
they all have their reasons. But creation doesn't want that DNA here. Whatever is left here will cause a problem, a bigger problem actually, because God and
genetic engineer,
who wants people to think that's God, have their own design for this universe, but they also have to be told. I mean, this message has to be personally delivered to them before leaving this place. And it has to be done from the farm.
Oh, speaking of Britain, Ben, I just saw. Oh, hold on. Is he? Ben, you there?
Yo, I'm there, brother. How you doing, man? Long time no talk, man.
Yes.
Yeah, and geopolitics, Junkie. I don't think I've spoke to you before, mate. I'm from Manchester, England.
Yes, great to meet you.
Yeah, you too, mate. And also Jennifer as well. I've heard a lot about you through all the calls, obviously. And to be honest, when all the calls got deleted, I lost a lot of, the knowledge, because there's so many calls. I don't think I could ever sort of get through them all within like a year or so, just due to my, family life and all that stuff. So anyway, I've learned, so much about you, but I've never actually formally been introduced to you or Glenn. And I was just so shocked and saddened about the news that I got through a friend of mine who's in the group of Jerds on Facebook. And I just thought I'm going to have to just call in, and just give my condolences to you guys.
Oh, well, thank you. But, Glenn is just not here.
Yep.
He's still there. Okay. He's not, I mean, it seems, if you don't understand, which I don't expect a lot of people to understand if they don't have all the information. He's not dead. Well, he is one of the dead, but he is the head of the cell, and he's with them.
Of course, yeah.
Well, Glenn explained it how he kind of explained it was like, say you're walking down the road and you sit in a certain position from the road, and you're in this position, but you go from another angle on the other side of the road and you can't see where you would have sat at originally. And just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not there, kind of thing. So
absolutely, brother. And I think I was sorry to interrupt you. I think I was more upset around the circumstance, after I looked into it a bit and saw some of Jennifer's posts and all that you shared in the group. I think that was the side I was quite more shocked at, really, if you understand that point of view. But also from a personal perspective, my grandma, she had an unusual death this year, and I heard something about, you said the significance of 78. Well, my nan was 77, and she was due to be 78 in November, and she just had like a freak fall with her shoulder, and my mum and everyone pleaded with the doctors because she was inactive. They said she didn't need surgery, just to go on blood thinners because she's had like a history of blood clots. And to be honest, they all said it's a load of nonsense. She don't need them all. It'll all heal up. And within a week, she had a blood clot from the main artery in her humerus, in the shoulder, straight to the heart. And we had to watch her, have all the CPR. It's quite graphic and all that. So I thought to myself, it's very strange, isn't it? with Glenn, was he 77 as well?
Yeah, Glenn was 77, and December 8th was exactly 30 days before his 78th birthday.
Well, and she was July or something.
Yeah, the Glenn's time of death was 3:05, and as far as I'm concerned, either creation or they were saying 8:0. And he has always talked about the big 8:0. They are the problem, the bureaucrat. And I don't know which one is saying it. Maybe both are saying it, but it was, it's very hard. Also, when an older person it takes a fall.
Yeah.
And there's usually death within 6 months. It's very common.
Right. Yeah.
And then you go in a hospital, you're placing yourself under the control.
Yeah, she refused to go into hospital. That's for sure.
But she probably knew, like, to see all of people from her peer group. What I learned, something with this, with the way Glenn died, like in the hospital, it made me appreciate more, like, elderly people, and I'm scared for elderly people, because, like, it's like the hospital. I get the impression that the hospital just murders older people all the time and makes it look like some type of natural thing. That's the impression I get.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's what older people were all commenting about my nan's death. As I said, like, she was stubborn as anything, she won't go into the hospital, and they all agreed. They said, because she's scared of not coming out. You know what I mean? It's awful. But I just wanted to also say as well, I don't know if you ever remember, Jared. I think I sent some form of link about Alan. I think he's called Alan Wilson, and he lived in Wales. And he was talking about old British history, and he had some like weird theory that, to be honest, it's not been thoroughly investigated, but he had some sort of theory that the Ark of the Covenant ended up in Wales. And the only reason I would ever bring that up is because I'm sure I've heard Glenn refer to the Ark of the Covenant in some capacity. So I just wanted to just throw that out there if it had any significance to you guys.
I'm not sure I understood. You said your friend Andrew Wilson.
Sorry, yeah, he's not my friend. He's just like a historian. He's probably about 80-odd years old. And he's done quite good research into, like, lost British history about all the King Arthurs and all this stuff. And the lost, tribes of Israel and all this stuff. And he's got a big theory that the Ark of the Covenant could well be in Wales. And the only reason I mentioned it is I thought Glenn said something about having possession of it or something, but I could be completely wrong. Yeah, it sounds like I probably am.
Well, from what I understand, that covenant, it's like been moved around from, like, it was in Israel, it was it was in the Middle East, it was in Ethiopia, then they didn't. From what I think is how it goes is, like, wherever that covenant went, destruction would follow. So that's why it left Israel, then apparently was brought to, like, upstate New York or something.
Yeah.
And, New York is not going to be around much longer, considering, like, how, this Lou at the Sioux and how they set up the infrastructure over here to just basically be destroyed. We have a highway over here called Clearview, and that's what you take to go into Flushing, New York, and Queens.
Yeah.
Which all suggests, and as you go upstate, you see the names like Waterloo and I forget the name of the other places. A lot of places linked to water, which suggests that it's not going to be around. too long. Like it's designed to be destroyed, that's kind of how these engineers, that's kind of how they move.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll find if you look into like who are the core of engineers in each country, they're the ones who will be connected to all of this. Like the United, over here we have UMACE, I think they call it United States, the Army Corps of Engineer, and no big architecture or designs. It all has to go through them before it's built. And in America, at least. And I know in Canada there was Glen.
Royal Corps of Engineers out of Alberta.
Yeah, that's what it was. And if you can look them up and look at their symbol that they use up there, which is interesting. A lot of.
The first George Washington had designed a lot of the Great Lakes over into Washington or into New York. So he said that all this stuff has to be accomplished by a certain time for the age of Aquarius. So,
the age of water, right?
Yeah.
And when they're talking about water, they don't just mean physical water, but they're talking about life, right? Because water, whenever you talk about
all things that flow, exactly. There's the water bearer, Aquarius. I went when I was back in 2004. I went to Japan, and one of the places that I went and I was taken there was a place called Miyajima Island. And Miyajima Island has a gate, a red gate out in water. It's very famous. And the goddess associated with that is actually it's a Hindu goddess. And her name is Saraswati. And Saraswati is the goddess of things that flow, like water. Like water. Okay?
Actually, Saraswati is also, because, in Pakistan and India, there was like another river that used to be there, also called Saraswati. Just want to say
right. Yeah, the goddess Saraswati. That's where the Japanese goddess came from. That is Indian in origin.
Yeah, well, India would be where they kind of started this movement, right? From being Cro-Magnon and it became Roma. And it basically just traveled around the world. Because I know India is kind of important when you look at like all the religions. They kind of come from there and they go through that Middle East and they morph into Zoroastrianism, which morphs into Judaism, Christianity.
Yeah, and Jared, you're right. Like Hinduism, I did study it a little bit, and they claim themselves to be like, all paths lead to one. They came to, like Hindus, they claim to be like some kind of like universalist religion, but then when you think deeper about it, what it actually means is they're like the original religion or something like that.
Yeah, they got a lot of groups over there, like Sikhs. Apparently, I think they have they're the ones who have like a lot of the power there or the money. And
yeah.
I don't know too much about them though.
What, Sikhs?
Yeah.
Well, I've met Sikhs. I know a lot of Sikhs.
Yeah, we have a lot of them, yeah.
Their founder was like a guy named Guru Nanak. I don't know. Just maybe next time I'll talk more about that.
Well, the thing that's being brought about right now and put in people's consciousness to say it is Watergate.
Yeah. Leaking, remember that?
Gate in water. Watergate. And that is what's being put in everyone's consciousness. That's what's being brought about by what they, Democrats, are trying to do. And I see the whole thing being encouraged on all sides. Like it's a plan.
It is a plan.
Yeah.
Well, from what I see, like with the Democrats tend to be more vocal about, it's this, the climate and everything is going to be destroyed. But yet, because the bureaucrats are trying to make money out of it and say,
they are bureaucrats.
Yeah, they're trying to make money to say, okay, we're going to have a bill where you just give us all this money. And what scares me about all that stuff, a lot of people are divided on it. There's a group of people, when you look at the population, they believe in, global warming is caused by people, which sort of true when you consider they can control weather and all that stuff. But there's a side that the Republican side, they tend to be more skeptical of that stuff. But what scares me is the Lou at the Sioux is going to justify a lot of the garbage they're trying to push out there. When that Lou, I imagine if a Lou happens and all that is destroyed and made to look like a natural event, who are they going to blame? You already see where the blame is going to go. People are going to already say, "Oh, well, you were right. It was the population. They because those cows farting. That's why it's so bad."
Well, all of this is going wherever bureaucrats and billionaires want to take it. So that, Glenn.
Who's noise? Who's making noise like that in the background?
No, not me.
You, Ben?
I'm not too sure, mate. I'll try and mute it now, see what happens now.
Okay, unless you want to say something, just mute it. Okay. What were you saying, Jenny?
It's where they want to take it, and what's left after the Lou is over on this side of the Rocky Mountains, and it's in Canada and the U.S., and basically that's why Western Union is called Western Union, because it's their code, and it's really about the western side of Canada linking with the western side of the U.S., Western Union. But I don't know if they just believe they're not going to have a big whopper of an earthquake off of the coast up there, because they're going to. Up off British Columbia, that one is going to affect a lot. That's a kind of destructive thing. And so it's like the number 87. It's like you don't know what's going to happen after that. It's page 87. So I guess they think it's going to go one way, but I think creation does not see it that way, that it's all going to go their way. But they, God, their God, whatever you want to call anything that isn't creation is somebody's God.
Yeah.
Is got other plans. So that's what, the United States served its purpose. And that was to get space program going, which they did.
So we've been on extra time on borrowed.
It's being handed over to billionaires, which is, that's the plan. And Glenn told me that way back in 2005, I believe it was, that's what would happen. before anyone, before that was ever being talked about, that they would get involved in it. So that's what.
Yeah, that's what these guys. I've watched these, like, the movements of, like, people like Bill Gates and your George Soros, the ones who we're told about. Bill Gates, George Soros, Bloomberg, and another one. They just kind of like
Elon Musk.
Like, when I look at this vehicle that he promoted, to me, that tells me, in what world, right, would that be would people consider that type of vehicle? Well, I think of it two options: in outer space, on other rocks, or when after the Lu and all the destruction, is that something that's going to be needed to get from one place to another? And then you have people like Bill Gates, who just funds his money through all these, puts his money through all these different projects, and these projects are, they're not what they appear to be. And you have a guy like George Soros, who funds, it seems to be funding like revolutions. So it seems like they're all doing different things, but they're all causing, I guess the common denominator is they all promote this mess that we all live in, And they all, I think all, like, these families, all these millionaires, they all have separate, like, I guess different tasks, right? Different jobs in different areas.
Well, they are wanting to promote, space exploration and travel, and and that goes towards their end product from this planet, the hermaphrodite.
Yeah,
that will be their mode of being able to get out there and find other places, and that's what they want. So that's, they're done. The U.S. has done its part. So it's time, and it's time they want to shut down the whole northern hemisphere anyways.
Glenn, and they want to keep that Brazilian, southern region for the research from everything they learn. They want to go over all the research material that they've learned over, I guess, the millennia, right? And that's like...
Yeah, well, there's certain parts of it, because Glenn's told me that basically Australia is not going to survive.
Oh, really? I thought parts of it were.
Maybe some part, but I don't know what part that would be. Certainly not around Sydney. I was told that Southern Africa, the very southern part, is also not slated to go on.
No, apparently Glenn, like, this is what he said, that the northern hemisphere is going to go thinking between, if you guys remember, like, did he mention you guys the Cap continent? And also, the southern hemisphere will be around for 1,000 years. Then it'll be disposed of, and then we're going to have two continents on the poles.
Yeah, but not all of it. Not all of it.
He was mentioning.
Yeah.
They have
their 1,000 years, but around that time. But they don't. But not all parts will survive.
Okay.
And it's going to be greatly reduced population that's much more controllable, and it's as well not really a population that's Caucasian, because they're done with the Caucasians too.
And they're done with blacks too. They want the tan, as in Pakistan, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan. They want all tans. Everything's going to be mixed. Everybody's going to be mixed.
Yeah, that's why you see, like, everyone go tanning outside.
But that's the people that are more controllable. So black people and white people are troublemakers.
No, actually, okay, let me think. Do you guys know, like Glenn mentioned, the cold seams and the particle accelerator and also Alder beam? Do you guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Or the Nova, or I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, you didn't, yeah, okay, you can talk about that, but that's like in the later future or something.
There's different ways of causing destruction. Lure the Sioux is a water is one.
He said I don't know exactly how, I don't know as much about the other areas, but how they're exactly going to do it. He said, I know
about Canada.
very well about Canada and the U.S. exactly what's done, and because that's where the cell, is. That's the cell is located for that area. So they have an American branch as well.
Wait, the cell? American branch?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, okay. No, okay.
Yeah.
No, continue, just talk.
So from what I understand, it's rocks falling from the sky, earthquakes, supernova, and water. There's like 3 different ways of, and they can happen in any order how they want to do it.
Yeah, I don't know which there's some things brewing here, but I think that it's groups passing information to their people. I mean, you're being told right now, Rocket Man is getting ready to launch something else up into the sky. So they're saying, look up. Then the next thing you hear is that Betelgeuse, the left shoulder of Betelgeuse currently is, that might supernova, but if that's so, it already has a long time ago.
Wait, you mean Betelgeuse?
Betelgeuse.
It's a star, right?
That's in Orion, the constellation of Orion, the left shoulder.
No, I think they pronounce it Betelgeuse, the star. Are you confusing it?
No, you don't call it Betelgeuse. Where do you get that? That's a movie. It's Betelgeuse.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Betelgeuse. Okay, I see. I thought it was Betelgeuse. Okay, all right. Yeah.
The coding, I haven't, like, I don't see all that, like, the coding from what I've seen in my day-to-day life, like, just like the basic stuff, like with the movies and stuff, like for example, Star Wars, right? This is a piece
Jared, I don't go, that I don't know about that stuff. That's and there's hints of something in it.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing is they're telling you to look up. Look up in the sky. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I know because of what I was told by Glenn, who was told by the cell, you should be looking at the Big Dipper.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. It's all about look up. The other, what am I going to say about that? In this time period, I mean, it's also what's being put into consciousness is bear. Oh, we have a new thing on TV called Man versus Bear. And it's these people.
It's been on for a while, I think. All right.
Yeah. And people going up against grizzly bears. I mean, I just saw this for the first time in the last few weeks. Like, what is the purpose of that? Except to bring up grizzly bear, ZZ Top. Bear. Okay. And that's, Wall Street is the Big Dipper. The Big Dipper is a bear. That's what it symbolizes is the big bear. And so something's up with all of that.
It's funny that you mentioned that with the Wall Street, right? And I almost hearing about this wall, put the wall up. And I keep hearing that something with the president, and because he gets money from like these banks, right? Or he puts his money with these banks. Something with him in the banks, and I'm not too sure about how these banks function, but I think don't they have something to do with how countries are built and destroyed? Banks are like a big part of that, right?
Banks are a way to steal money and launder money. That's the purpose of a bank.
Okay.
That's their purpose.
That's what was I was trying to say about the film is in those movies. That movie, the main theme is that they wanted the idea was everything has to be destroyed. That's the main theme. Like the past, everything that you knew to be, what you knew to be normal has to be done with. That is the theme. Because I was following it, like with Star Wars, the main theme, the new director who bought it from George Lucas, Disney, they bought it and they completely changed everything. And the theme, even in the storyline, is the old has to go. It's all going away. It all has to be destroyed. It all has to be done with. Everything that you thought was normal has to be. We have to go. They're basically going in like another direction or something. So, which coincides with the whole Lou at the zoo and everything, destroying everything. Going to be, after everything's destroyed, it's going to be a new lifestyle, for everybody that survives. All that stuff with the United Nations talking about, the Georgia Stones, they talk about only a certain population will be around, and the United Nations will be like handing out food. They want to. That's what they want. They want to be like the government of the world, right? They want to be like the new bureaucrats for the world, and that's why.
Jared,
mm-hmm.
is there a way to go on and talk to you like on a PC because my phone's battery is going dry?
Yeah, it's
the email you sent me. I can just go online and listen to this and talk.
Yeah, it's
Hello?
Yeah.
So it's possible to listen to this on your computer, right? And then discuss?
Yeah, you can call and you can go through like your and just
I'll try calling right now. Just give me a second.
All right, put it on Facebook. You just follow that thing.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, I can hear you now. All right.
No, that's better.
Okay, yeah, let's continue.
Yeah, just on that subject of the Lewis I just wanted to maybe consider, would the reason be for the destruction of the Northern Hemisphere? Would the reason be for
is that you with the noise? I think there's like a lot of noise. I can't really hear everything you're saying. It's like your microphone keeps rubbing against something.
Oh, I see that. Is that a bit better?
Are you using a phone or are you using a?
I'm using an internet browser because I couldn't get into it. I don't think that's my mic pick. Whoever's phone that is like your microphone just keeps rubbing up against. That's weird.
Huh.
You hear that, right, Jenny? You hear?
I hear it. I don't know. I'm just, my phone is, I've been holding still this whole time. I just have it up to my mouth and I'm not moving.
Oh, it's. I don't hear it now.
Yeah, that's strange. That
is that you?
Sure.
That's you, right, Ben?
Yeah, I'm still here, mate. Is it still making that noise? Hello?
Yeah.
You're on your cell phone?
I'm not, mate. I'm on a computer.
Oh, you're on a computer.
Yeah. Is it really
your microphone may be a little like sensitive.
Let me have a little look now on the settings. Is that a bit better?
We have to wait and see.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully it's all right. Just on that topic, I just wanted to say, is the reason for it in any chance because we're sort of, like you said, trying to bring something new out by getting rid of the old in preparation of what would be like when that started getting installed? Would it call that outer remains? I know that's quite in a long time to come, but is that the reason for the destruction? So that they can prepare for what life would be like under that circumstance?
Seems like every time
Hello, man.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Try using your phone.
I'm on a landline phone, so I don't have any interference.
Let me have a little look now.
Maybe you could try hanging up and calling back in.
Yeah, good idea. I'll try that.
wow. Even when he was trying to talk, it just got worse. It's like, is it kind of Bell Canada kind of stuff?
Stuff like that would happen to you?
Me and Glenn, yeah.
Because I remember I would speak to Glenn. It would just be, it's just, I mean, you have to laugh at it after a while because they did it so much, like with Glenn. And we always, when he's saying something really, really important, and they just try to.
So we would be talking on the phone, and we'd be hung up on about, I don't know. I think one time I counted 10 times in an hour. It hangs up. And other things, all kinds of noise, and I mean, people coming in on the line, and all kinds of weirdness. That's Bell Canada stuff.
Yeah, for Bell Canada, right? It's, I mean, for anyone interested, if you look into like the history of Bell, they kind of try to hide who they are.
There we go again. Good.
Yeah.
You hear that?
Yeah. I hear it.
Kind of confirmation.
That's really weird, guys. Can you hear me at all?
I hear you now.
Has it gone all that weird noise?
MI6, man.
It's either that or a pair of dodgy earphones, mate. I'm not too sure what it is, but these are really good earphones, to be honest. So I don't see really any excuse.
You've never had any issues with them before?
In all honesty, never.
But maybe it's maybe it's the talk show itself. Maybe it's the site we're using.
Absolutely, mate. Well, just while you can maybe hear me, I'll just quickly say the point I was trying to say is, do you think it has anything to do with that star? I think it was called Alger Remain. All the thing that you just discussed in the Lou and the Sioux, the destruction of the Northern Hemisphere, just all to be done by specific.
We were told. Okay, I think I put a picture up on the site. I think it was August 2017 or 16, Homer's home run on Rito. And it was about the Big Dipper is supposed to look like it has a leak because a star is supposed to either dim so much that it looks like it's not there anymore, or it's something along those lines, and I don't know which star it is.
Let me see.
That's supposed to be around the time of the loop.
You said it was called Homer? That post was called what?
Homer's Home Run on Rio. It's two cats that are...
I remember that.
Yeah.
Remember that.
That's what that post is about. It's supposed to be about that, and it has to do, Glenn said it had to do with precession of the equinoxes, because they know thousands of years in advance when it was going to, happen again. But he said it was linked to that. And of course, Homer's Home Run on Rito, it's 2016 or 17. I think it was August, I believe.
February, April. Big Dipper leaks on bureaucrats. See that?
Yeah, Big Dipper leaks on bureaucrats.
Okay. Yeah, Big Dipper. Oh, it's a picture. I remember that picture.
Yeah.
That was my wallpaper on my phone. I look at that every day. Yeah, I don't know, Ben, if you in the older talks, that's like discussed about the Big Dipper leaking. Glenn kind of goes into it for a while.
That we were talking about it before anyone ever put anything about bureaucrats.
Yeah, I think all that interference. I just have a feeling that it's all this technology that we have, like, not under your control. All right, so like it can be hacked and messed with from another location. They can do that. So
of course, but it could be potentially because, like, I'm obviously from Britain as well, and maybe not called to before. But I was just wondering maybe if that was one of the reasons, because I think when they were talking about that star, I think they said it was replacing itself as the North Pole star within, I think it was 26,000 years, if I recall right. And I just thought to myself, was that maybe an excuse for trying to beginning anew, starting from fresh, if you get what I mean, the reason for the destruction? Apparently, Glenn was saying how it would destroy all the face of the earth.
Oh, that's something kind of different.
That's something different to that, exactly, mate. But I think we got cut off with the weird interference. So I think you missed some of the stuff I was saying in between it. But yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about older.
Absolutely,
every 26,000 years we have a new North Star. The current new North Star is Polaris, and it's basically signified a benchmark of polarizing humanity to where we are at today. But the new North Star is older, which is, I think it's 100 times the luminosity of the sun. And when it comes into place, nothing will be able to survive on the surface of the planet. Which is why you have people like the Neanderthalers who have retreated on the ground to avoid things like that.
Absolutely. So that's what I was basically thinking. So that's obviously part of the reason why I assume it's about colonizing the rest of the universe.
Yeah, can you mute your phone?
Absolutely, mate. Sure can.
It's pretty, a lot of interference. Huh.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating. Because I'm trying to hear.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. It is. I can imagine how it's a pain because I actually can't hear it as well. That's the irony. It sounds perfectly clear.
Yeah, well, this shows how much you don't like people to have everything.
Absolutely, guys. But on that note, because it's just approaching like 11 p.m., I may have to leave you anyway, guys. But I really wanted to call in just to speak to you, and hopefully I can join in further calls, and we can continue discussing it all. It was a pleasure speaking to you all.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'll talk to you again.
And hopefully I'll give all your eardrums a bit of a rest now. Anyway, take care, guys. Best wishes.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, you too.
Take care.
Yeah.
That's make it really hard for people to know what's going on.
Yeah. Yep. They sure do. But keep on moving. Keep on. As long as you stay determined. Keep doing it.
Hello?
That didn't stop me over the last 10 years. That's always.
Yeah. Well.
Hello?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, yes. You were mentioning that like they'll be cleaned from the farm, like how creation's gonna remove like those guys, right?
Remove what?
They removed like the cops or the bureaucrats, how you were mentioning to me earlier, right?
Creation will clean house. And
Clean the house.
Clean the house.
Okay.
This has been this whole thing is what they're doing there in that area, because it all has to be cleaned up. Because up in the region of Kemptville, that part of Ontario, and there's a lot going on up there with what they're doing with people up there. It's what they're doing to seniors up there. What they're that whole area has a lot of apparent criminal activity going on, and it has to, this has to do. This goes way back with the OPP locating their headquarters in Canada. My goodness, there goes all of that interference again.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to hear you.
That's your phone.
My phone?
No, not your phone. Moose's phone.
It's my internet. I lost connection, so I got like a wire on this computer.
Well, I'm just saying that's where the interference is coming from.
Oh, yeah, I gotta charge my phone next time.
The OPP relocated their headquarters to Aurelia.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the path of all the water. And they have been given every chance to make right what they've done. They've continued to drive the getaway car for criminals, as Glenn said. And they did this to me. And then they're the first ones to show up at the farm. Okay, they were there.
Mm-hmm.
And, according to an email from one of their own, that Glenn wanted to go to the hospital. No, he wasn't given a choice. He was told, if you don't go, we'll arrest you. So he was into the hospital where he was poisoned at an even faster rate. And he was being drugged so that, and then he had nurses at the hospital locking the bathroom so that he couldn't use the bathroom in the room, and it would make him go down the hall. Everything that was being done was to kill him fast. He wanted a liver biopsy. He died the day before the liver biopsy would have been done. The doctor told him on the phone, or I was on the phone when the doctor was telling him, well, no, we don't know that it's liver cancer. We'd have to do a liver biopsy to really know that. Yeah. So that was not officially diagnosed at the time. However, according to an OPP cop, one of their own, she's already emailing somebody, because I got a copy of that email saying that he'd already been diagnosed. So who is she? Pass that information around. And who is she to give that information to nobody, someone who's not even a family member or anything else, who wouldn't talk to me either. She wouldn't talk to me. So the whole thing is suspect.
Well, why would this? I find that very suspicious that she wouldn't even talk to you.
Well, her father, like father, like daughter. So,
it's like they just know who you are, and they just you're gonna figure them out.
Glenn told me you're a non-person. I'm a non-person. We're a non-persons.
Don't they call that in law? They call it a persona non grata, right? Or it's like a person who's just like, it's like you're not acknowledged. What happened?
Non-person is a legal term.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm a non-person who would also be considered incorrigible. And so that's, that's this again, though, is the OPP. Now they have indicted themselves into a criminal conspiracy that is ended in murder. And it isn't even conspiracy to commit murder. It's already murder. And they have indicted themselves in on it. And they have sealed their fate. So that's, they were given the chance and they have passed it up.
Okay. So, I'm thinking here, so like the farm right now, like, I know your name's signed over there, right?
I'm
Hello?
involved. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, continue. No, just speak. I
have been given a task. Okay, and I have to complete the task.
Yeah, okay.
It has to happen. And there are people that don't want it to happen. They want the property, and they don't want the task to happen. Now, those that want the property may want it for other reasons known to them, but there are those that know what's supposed to happen there that don't want it to happen because it changes the game for them and the amount of control that they have in the universe. And they won't want it to happen.
Yeah, what groups are these people? Now so from what I'm just understanding what you just said, so you have certain groups who have their own reasons for that place, and there are other people who know what's going to happen on that place, but they're trying to keep it from happening. What groups are these? Who are these groups? Is it like just the bureaucrats, or is it?
There's so many groups. I don't even know all the groups.
Thousands of.
But you have the genetic engineers who don't want it to happen.
Who? Say it again.
Genetic engineers
do
not want it. They don't want it to happen.
Like nuns and all that.
I don't even know anymore where, the nuns, how much have they really got control anymore? Because the only thing that I understand right now is that creation is in control. Creation is the real one in control here. And anything that's been allowed to happen is because creation knows where things are going.
So what you what you want to happen is the 13 people thing that he talked about before, or is that what's going that should go on?
What? Say again?
The 13 people, critical mass.
I know that there's a project that has to be done before we can leave. And yeah, there are 13 people. I don't know who they are. I have, I kind of have my ideas of who some might be, but I don't know who are the 13.
No, because Glenn, he talked about this, he did mention this quite a bit of times, and Jared, you know this, right? The 13 people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so 30 people, well, he was saying 30 of us go to farm. Out of 30, hopefully we have 13 functioning brains or something like that to change, I don't know, create some kind of force. I don't know, something like that. That's what he told us.
Well, if God, creator works by and brings about by what comes out of your mouth, which is what I'm understanding at this point in time, and that is speaking about what God wants instead of what creation wants, then that, how things have been happening, because a whole lot of people there's suggestions about what is going to take place, and they bring it about by having people talk about it, because it's about quantum mechanics and quantum physics. That's what it all boils down to. Because I'm trying to understand some of this now. I'm looking into quantum mechanics and quantum physics, and which Glenn seemed to know about, and which I'm trying to comprehend at this time, and I'm researching it. Then we create a lot of stuff by what comes out of our mouth. I have created a lot of negativity because I've been negative. So I'm trying to understand, and I don't want to be negative, and I'm done, with all of that. I don't feel like bringing about what God wants.
One part of it is the language that we have to deal with. The English language, for one, is just completely garbage. It's a manufactured language for this period in time, and every word that we spit out has a different meanings to different people. And I remember, the whole thing about willing your will. So you can't go about it using language. It has to be a different way, And I guess with a real thought, I guess it starts at the thought level, right? So a real thought is imagery, right? So imagery is, that's what me personally say. I want to will my own will. It's not something I say that comes out of my mouth. For me personally.
That's what he said, though. He said, willing, I don't know why he said that. It was like 13 people willing our will, not creator's will, something like that.
Yeah, well, 13 people change. What was it? 13 people change the universe. And 3 people for like a world, which kind of suggests like why the system has always had these projects in 3, like religion, for example. They always seem to come in 3s. It's because they wanted to change the world, and they did. And they used us, slaves, to do it. And this life was the life I learned about creation and how I don't want to be this slave anymore. And I made that decision, when I was on that farm. And we had my agreement with, creation.
Okay.
I was kind of scared though, Jenny, when I first, after, talking about it with Glenn, I was like, this is my honor and all that stuff, I would say. He goes, yeah, it's your honor on the line. It's your, you make that agreement. So. And I never really talked about this with much people, but because it's something I can't really expect people to believe, but when I did the circuit and made that contract with creation, something I experienced I've never experienced this in my life. Something changed around, like, just how I was, like, it had something to do with feeling, seeing, touching, something around it just changed. I don't know. It was something happened. And I cannot even, like, share with people, but I knew inside that it was something to do with, creation, but I can't explain that to people. So I usually keep it to myself, or maybe I'll talk about it with somebody else who would even consider that, because it's not something I could share. I mean, it's kind of difficult, stuff like that. When I was in Canada, actually, it was more than one time. Certain things that happened to me that I saw, like, in experience, like, but it was things that happened in such a way you can't prove it to anybody. I could not prove that to anybody. It's just, it's just my experience. But that's all you really kind of need in life. You need your own. It's all about learning from your experiences, I guess. So.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm thinking here.
Yeah, do you speak multiple languages, Musa?
Yeah, I can speak. Pardon me?
Yeah, because I noticed, like, when you talk, like, I guess English is not your first language, right?
No, I can speak. I speak Urdu. It's this other language in Pakistan. It's just like, it's confusing because there's Hindi, another language, but there's a lot of politics there, and I don't want to talk about that. Does that answer your question?
No, just like I noticed when you talk, it's like you have like it's like it's difficult for you formulating, like, what you're trying to express an idea. to other people. Like you have the idea in your head, but when
it's not.
Speaking
it's
into
not
people.
Good. No, it's not. I don't think it's because of English. I think it's just like the way I'm thinking. It's just, you see my comments, right? Like I just have like this non-linear type of thought process. I think it's more to do with that, not. I don't know how to explain it. Like you're saying, I'm incoherent or something. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, at times you can be like you're not.
Like so, I
not like your sentences aren't like all put together. So I'm trying to piece together what you're saying, but like you'll start off and then you'll just stop.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's just something I gotta focus on. I know I have that thing, the scatter thing, or whatever you call it. What's the noise?
I don't know. What's it mean?
What?
It sounded like a beep. I don't know. It sounded like a notification from somebody's phone, like a beep. That's what it sounded like.
No. It's not my phone because I'm not. My phone's. I put it away now. I'm on my computer. Oh yes. So I do. There are some things I want to ask you, Jared. So right now it's like you and Dana, right? You guys are talking with this, right?
What do you mean?
Hello. So you and I'm wondering about like the other guys, like Warren. Do you know who that guy is?
Mm-hmm.
Is he still talk to him, or is he still like around? You see here, like on the internet?
No, I don't speak to him. I haven't spoken to him in a while.
And what about you remember the first time when you guys like say you were with Alan Watt, right?
If I remember Alan Watt?
No, I'm saying that you used to like research Alan Watt material before you found Glen Kealey's stuff, right?
Yeah. I used to research a lot of Alan Watt.
So I do remember the forum. It was called like Outlaw Forum. Like a guy named Andre or something like that. They were doing investigations, and then what they did is like they discovered that Alan Watt plagiarized Glen Kealey or something.
Why outlaw forums? Okay, they are simply people that were involved to make things more complicated and to mess things up.
Oh, you remember them, Jeff?
I remember them because it used to piss me off what they said about Glenn.
Yeah, I remember that.
Do not have time for any of them.
Yeah, well, Outlaw Forums was just, it was like many different people who, in different schools of thought, and they all seemed to gravitate to that forum. And there were people,
they were disinformers.
Exactly. They have this. I mean, but that's in all like forums. I mean, but those days are over. Like that type of. I mean, that was like when me and Dana would go in the net and be researching and communicate with other people who were researching similar topics. It used to be, at least for me, it was forums. But now it's since the social media is like what it is, that changed all that. It kind of it's not the same. And all those people who, I mean, there were some people that I talked to who were okay, but then there were always a lot of people who attacked me, on many different forums. But then I learned internet is not a place. I mean, the best way, if you want to get a point across, like say a YouTube video, just put the video out and don't even allow comments, because it's not the way they design that system. Is you see what comments are mostly.
Well, they have spammers. Their job is to go out and just take everything away from what the person is trying to say.
Exactly. So just how you do that is just don't even allow comments. I'm leaving a lot of comments. You want to ask a question, email me. Here's my phone number. If you're serious about this stuff.
Fine. Yeah, more appropriate, I guess. Okay, that's good. What else is there on my mind? You guys, do you have any questions for me? Any of you guys?
Not really. I have to wait a bit longer.
Jennifer, you got a question for me?
No, where I'm coming from, Musa, is that I don't really get a whole lot into discussing, well, let's compare Glenn against this person or that person or what they said or something, because I don't believe anything else that anyone else said. I don't care what they said. I know what Glenn said. I know where it's coming from. And I know I don't even talk about myself as believing in creation. I already know creation is the ultimate highest truth, and that anything else is is not even real. And I'm not trying to insult anybody. But I'm 64 years old and I'm not a kid.
I remember when that was a time when Glenn used to say the exact same thing. I'm 64 years old. And now you're saying it.
Now I'm saying it, yeah. Well, I have a responsibility. I have a job to do. And, like Glenn, said about our wedding rings was, my ring represents the end and yours represents the beginning. And so we have, with Glenn going on to be with the cell and doing things from that place now, and we have another phase we're into now of this whole thing, which will be, I guess, phase 2, and number 2 is number 1. It's the most important thing right now. And that's, getting this thing going at the farm. And it has to go. It has to happen. It's not about me. It's just that I've been put, the responsibility on me now on this end. And so it's about making sure that gets started and gets going, and that it was things that are supposed to take place, as far as from this end of things. And
the thing is, so I am Canadian. I live in Canada right now, so.
No, well, things have to happen on that property, and I have to be there for them to happen.
Okay, But how can you be there if they kicked you out 3 times? They deported you, right?
Like I said, it's called house cleaning, and that's going to happen very soon.
So you're saying by chance whoever's stopping you will disappear, and then you'll be able to cross and get into there?
Whoever is causing the problem, which is basically they have the names of every single person, they're going to be taken out of the way.
So, who has the names? Who has the names?
The cell has the names.
The cell.
There's already arrest warrants issued. Okay.
Okay, I heard. Okay.
When arrest warrants are issued, then what that means is that whenever they die, and I don't know when that'll be or how that'll happen, then they're going to be met and put it, in their place so that they're going to be in line to go to court. And then they're going to go to the pineal court and they're going to get their trial, and they're not going to be able to say what they want to say. It's all going to show from their pineal gland up on a screen, they'll be asked a question, but that will show on the screen in answer. And they will be tried on their actions or lack thereof. And they're either going out the door. Yeah. They're either going out the door that goes to paradise, or they're going out the other door. And guess what? Glen walks them out that other door.
Oh, okay.
First place they go is to somebody sitting in a red chair.
You.
And that's me. And they're going to tell me I was convicted of this and, oh, please. And I got to make the decision. And I'm not feeling too forgiving these days.
Yeah. Jared.
I'm feeling if creation has decided on their fate, creation must be right. That's how I'm feeling lately. So
now, for the pineal court, is this just between like the people who are involved with like, you know, how they abused you and Glen, or is this like all of humanity or something?
This has to do with what was going on in Canada and the U.S. It has to do with the Louis the Sioux, and it's the same people that are involved in that and the people that work for them and did all of this stuff as well to Glen and myself. And they are apparently the worst ones. They're the ones, they will, and their genetic offspring will cause the most problem on this planet.
That's the thing though, like, so you were saying that the house cleaning and like whoever's stopping you from coming to Canada, they'll pass away. But you also mentioned their offspring might still take their place or something like that.
I mentioned what?
No, like you said house cleaning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait. But if they pass away, the children might replace them and they'll still like do the same thing, right?
Well, no, actually no, because they have condemned their children and their offspring and their generations afterwards. They're not going to be around to do it because that's what they've done by their actions.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, the pineal court, right? Glen explained that. He said, you know, in the formation of human beings, you know, when we were living a life on the planet, when we used to be, you know, fish, or the life that was living at the bottom of the ocean, you know, there was no light that was needed. They didn't have eyes to see, right? And they had like glands. And that gland in evolution became the spine, you know, the reptiles became the spine, which became your spine, and the reason why they use that word spine is because it's a pineal. It's because when you know about like coniferous and deciduous trees can't grow without the cover of coniferous trees. And when in the formation of a human being, the first things that grow are the most important parts, just like with coniferous and deciduous trees. Coniferous trees come first because they provide cover for the deciduous trees. So the pine, the spine, has all that knowledge. It didn't stop recording what was going around it. It's what everything that you experience, that you see, is in that pineal court. So everybody on this planet, when they die, they'll ask those important questions. What did you know? What did you do? What did you know? When did you know it? And what did you do about it? And based off those questions decides where you go on, where your trajectory will go after this life. So,
okay.
And creation knows all things, right? Because it made an agreement with human beings, with life, that we will be given, we can experience and learn and bring it back to them, bring it back to creation, right? Because creation it's not a person.
A person, it's a process.
Right? It's not alive, but it knows everything, right? So it knows all about this, what these criminals are doing in power, and they're gonna be asked those same questions, and those questions aren't gonna be, those questions are gonna just basically condemn them to the whatever their sentence will be, Antarctica or being what's that word?
Disentanglement?
Decombined?
Quantum disentanglement or decombined. No, I think Glenn mentioned quantum disentanglement. The strands of DNA don't like combine. That's what or I don't know what he said.
Yeah, you're mixing a bunch of different ideas, and you're like kind of all over the place.
Yeah, sorry, I should be more slow next time. Maybe okay. No, what I'm saying is Glenn mentioned quantum disentanglement. Is that what he said?
Quantum entanglement is the concept like everything is, they say we're all one, we're all connected, because when the universe was formed, right, it was all like, before sound and everything was like close together, and it expanded. But that quantum entanglement, even though they all are expanded and supposedly separated from each other, they're still connected, which is what quantum entanglement is. Everything is connected.
Okay.
Everything is part of that process, which is that process we call creation.
Yeah, so one thing I do want to mention. Hello?
Yeah.
Wait, did someone call in? I heard someone's voice. Did you hear anyone's voice?
No, it's just me and you and Jenny. That's what I'm seeing here. Yeah.
Okay, so there's one thing I want to say is because I was in my, what do you call it? So the politics, the Pakistani politics that you saw me on Facebook, and now Jennifer is talking about like the pineal court putting the bureaucrats or whoever hurt them on trial, right?
Yeah, but that's not just bureaucrats. It's CBSA. It's any lawyers. It's police. But they all sit under bureaucrats.
Okay,
everybody.
Yes, explain. Continue.
Huh?
Continue.
Okay, that goes all the way back to whoever's giving them the orders. The MI6, to India, Iran, the Levant, Syrian Maronite police, they're all involved. They're all going to have to account to creation. They don't have to account to me. They have to account to creation.
Yes, so Jared, you saw me posting that material on Facebook like nonstop?
Yeah, years ago.
Yeah, so like maybe like ultimately like whoever I was ranting at will have to answer to creation then.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't follow the politics of Pakistan closely. I wasn't into that.
Yeah,
I don't know about any of that. I know that India at the top has everything to do with Glenn and my situation.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there were Iranians that infiltrated into the CBSA. In fact, I had to sit next to one all the way to the U.S. from Canada in the plane. That was part of it. Okay. So I know they're involved. I know CBSA is involved. I know bureaucrats embedded within the Canadian government at municipal level, provincial level, and federal level are involved in it. I know that there are some politicians involved in all of this. And I know that the police are big time involved in it. And they're all going to have to answer to creation for what they've done.
Yeah, okay.
They have all of their reasons.
Mm-hmm.
The OPP want to hide the fact that they're responsible for the murder of Tom Byberg, and they're responsible for the murder of Glen now. And they're responsible for my being taken out of Canada illegally. They assisted all of it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's their reason. Okay? And then there are bureaucrats embedded in the federal government. They have their direction, and some of them got it from the United Nations, as a matter of fact. So, and then there are at the municipal level, they have their reasons, and the provincial level, they have their reasons. But it doesn't matter to creation. What were their reasons? They knew what they were doing, and they knew that it was wrong. So then these are the people that if they're church-going Christians, they go to church on Sunday and they try to look, I'm a good Christian. I'm a good person. They can go around and do stuff like that, but they can go into church every week and play like they're some kind of decent person. They're not decent. They're hypocrites.
Yeah, but that's the main theme, and it's a common denominator you see on every level. It's a hypocrisy and illusion.
Oh, and control freaks are the other thing.
Yeah.
There are courts just for them.
If you look at American politics, that's what you're seeing that. Like it's all reflected in politics. It's reflected in the movies and film and media. It's reflected in.
But the reason that this in particular is of the highest interest to creation is because this was involving Glen and myself, has to do with creation ending all of this and leaving this universe, and they're trying to stop it. That's why it is so serious. There are all kinds of crimes committed about all kinds of other stuff, but the one that has the court of last resort involvement, which is the pineal court, the court of last resort, and has the highest consideration of creation and the court, is because Glen and I were supposed to do this thing so that the 7 billion people waiting can go, and so that there will be a next universe to go to. And they're trying to stop it. That's what this is all about.
Wait, you're telling me that the system is trying to stop us from going to the next universe?
The system does not want this thing to happen to this conclusion that it has to take on the farm.
Okay.
They don't want it. Now, I don't know what the OPP know about that part of it, but they have reasons specific to them. That is hiding the fact that they were participating in 2 murders and a kidnapping. That's their interest. That's their concern, because they certainly don't know about the other. But that's how they're involved in all of this. So all of these groups at their own levels have their reasons why. But the ones at the top know what this is all about and what this is. They know.
Yeah, what's going on with your phone, Musa? Like, if you should probably mute your phone, because it's just interference.
Is that the same thing like Ben's?
Yeah.
You hear static?
No, it sounds like things being moved around.
Yeah, it's your microphone keeps rubbing up against something.
Okay, I'll put it on a table. Is that better now?
You gotta just put it on mute, unless you have something to say.
Okay, I'll put myself on mute then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Jenny.
Yeah.
You were saying.
That's, it seems, and I've been told that the worst crimes, what creation considers the worst crimes that you can commit are anything that had to do with, what was that?
That was my phone, text message.
Oh, okay. Anything to do with screwing up this universe. That's the worst crime anyone could have committed. If you're involved with that.
That's like worse than crimes against humanity. That's like crimes against creation. Oh.
Well, it involves crimes against humanity if it's screwing up the universe. But it's because that is your control freak status right there.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you want it to run the way you want it and what you want. That's, what that's about. That's why control freaks and hypocrites, there is a court just for that.
Can you guys hear me now? Is it staticky or is it still interference?
It sounds clear right now.
Okay, so it's not like Ben Smart's audio, right? Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, I do have that. Okay. Have you guys heard a guy named Mark Fazio?
No.
He's just, okay. Okay, all right. Jen, I don't think you heard of him too, right?
Oh, who is he?
Mark Passio.
No, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it's probably not worth our time. Another alternative media, those guys are getting away. Well, either he's intentionally doing it on purpose or he's misguided. It could be two options. We don't know.
What's he doing? I don't know.
He's another, if you have time, you can look at his material, but most likely it's just part of the alternative media. I don't know if it's, if you want to look into MARK space PASSIO. So.
Part of anybody who we're living in like a kind of unique period in time because this is 2020, right? We're coming up to 2020 where they say everyone will see clearly. Well, over for years now, it's information has been getting released that wasn't known before to the public, right? And there's a group of people out there, who they call it the Great Awakening. And in their perspective, they think that, we're all learning the truth about the world, about reality. It's the Great Awakening. Humanity will awaken. But all that is part of that 2020.
No, apparently he calls it, Mark, he calls it the Great Work. Does that make sense? The Great Work. Ring a bell?
Who said what? Who is, huh?
The great work is making the new slaves. That's what, and going into outer space and something that's
a tonic thing, the Great Work. Why would we want to talk about that? That's what the Great Work is.
Yeah.
Apparently that's what well, that's what that guy was talking about, sort of. And, natural law. Does that ring a bell?
Huh?
What is all those things you're saying? What do they have to do with what we're talking about?
No, I talked about Mark Passio, and so I was just saying some key concepts he talks about. So I wonder if you guys.
you know what? You listen to too many people. You sound like you don't know, you're
He's still searching, I think.
Too much stuff in your head. Okay. And one thing is that I'm not somebody I don't get into conversations about other people and what they're talking about. Because as I said earlier, I don't believe any of it. I don't care about any of it. Okay. I am already somebody who's been confronted by some things that you would have a problem with and that you wouldn't understand. And you're young, so no one expects you at this point to. You're still searching. And you want to get in to talk about all of this stuff like it's a big, broad subject, and you want to compare Glen against a whole lot of other people. Okay? I'm not there. I don't care about the other people because I know that what they're saying is not the truth.
Okay.
And Glen told me point blank, I don't know, he may have told some other people too, that the cell told him the only person that the dead have ever spoken to on this planet is Glen, through them. Nobody else has been approached.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was cut off. I had to reload my internet. So, yeah, okay, I understand.
Okay. I don't, go with any religion. I don't care if it's Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Shinto, Buddhism, Jainism, Baha'i, any of them, because they're false. And I don't care if I offend anyone, and I'm not trying to, but they are all created to lead people astray and to enslave them and to keep them from knowing the truth.
Okay.
And I don't hold one, I don't say one is better than the other. To me, they're all religion.
Okay.
So that's where I'm coming from. And I don't talk about other people talking about something that's something like what Glen said, because they're not talking about the same thing that Glen has talked about. They don't mean the same thing, and they don't know what they're talking about. None of them. Some of them are paid to do what they're doing. Some of them lead astray purposely. Some of them distract, meaning to distract or not meaning to distract. But they don't have the truth because the cell hasn't talked to any of them.
So you're saying the cell talked only to Glen so far?
The cell have only spoken to Glen.
Okay.
And they told Glen that he had earned it.
Yes, that part I understood, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm on a journey the same way that Glen was on a journey. And at some point, they spoke to him. They started talking to him, and they told him who they were and so on. And they told him things about himself that either he knew or he suspected or he didn't know. And so that was a journey, a process. I'm in the same kind of process. And a process doesn't ever start with someone walking up to you and saying, "Hi, I'm a cell member." It never starts that way. Or somebody doesn't walk up to you and say, "Hi, I'm the dad and I'm come here to tell you some things." It never starts that way, ever. the process is kind of an osmosis thing from everything I can understand. And it's kind of it takes time, and it takes something going on in your brain for you to figure some stuff out first. It's a growth thing. So, and it's nothing that you can make happen. It's nothing that you have any control over. And you don't just say, "Hey, Sal, I want to talk to you." That isn't how it works. If they want to talk to you, they're going to talk to you. They want to meet with you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, because like when he passed away, when Glenn joined the cell, now he's with the cell, he's the chief. That's the thing I got. Like, I want to like someday meet the cell myself. But then what you're saying is a process, like osmosis. Like, you're not gonna like.
Well, that's up to them. You know, that's up to them. You can't just decide that you want to meet them and therefore that will happen. I don't. You know, and that's not even the most important thing. You know, that's not the goal in life here.
That's true.
It's you know, that sounds like what a young guy would say. You know, it's like kind of an adventure thing. But and it's like you just want to know the answers. Well, that's not how it works.
Well, no, I'm not saying I want to meet the cell like immediately. I mean, sure, I'll go through a journey, a long process. It's not like, hey, I want me to sell. No. Do you know if the cell is like knows that we're having this discussion?
Oh, I guess I'm sure they do.
Okay.
I thought they, from what I understand, they can listen all phone calls. The cell, listen to all the phone calls.
Well, you know what? At this point in time, they were listening in on Glenn and my phone calls along with everyone else on the planet. But
yeah,
I don't know anything anymore. It's all a new game. I mean, it's the same game, but it's a new game. So, I would assume that they are keeping track of things. So, but I know, right now, some of the Canadian branch are very busy with some other stuff involving all of these people. So,
well,
I don't know. I guess I kind of have. I don't think all the time anymore about what they know or what they don't know, because it's. I think there's something to do with quantum entanglement here, a concept of which I'm really trying hard to understand, and how it change. What when you bring death or the dead into it, and nobody here that in this realm has all the answers. They don't have all the information. Some people that have written about that know more than others.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to find any philosopher or any religious person that has a clue. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's to be in that fifth dimension, right? Which is where you have to be dead to go there. And no one I know in my life has went there and come back.
I don't think in a fifth dimension right now. I think it's all still in this same universe.
Oh.
Further forward in the universe. That paradise is up ahead of us in this universe. It's a waiting place right now. Okay, and there are people waiting to get in because they had to do a cleanup there. But that
used to blow my mind. That used to blow my mind how did those people even get in there? You know, like I used to wonder that, like how these nuns, they would fill up this place and they're not even supposed to be there.
They had the old knowledge. It was passed down and they kept it to themselves. Okay, they found out thousands and thousands of years back, they found out. And they got hold of it and they didn't share that information, of course.
Wait,
that is some evil shit.
Hello,
that's some evil. That's evil. That's some evil ass shit. That's some.
No, I'm still like one thing. I have a question. Hello. But no, like, okay, so I do know this. So didn't Glenn talk about the whole discontinuity being like, you know, or the basalt mind, where your DNA is remembered by creation or something like that? Jared, remember that?
Yeah. What about it?
Is that paradise?
No.
That's heaven. Heaven is down below where you go, your DNA goes to be remade, and then you are brought back up to be re-engineered and put in an egg, okay, or in shit, because it's coprolite or an egg, everybody's from that, and then you are put back through birth on this planet again, and you think you had past lives because you have some kind of feeling about it, because you have some DNA that was there then, but you can't remember anything, and you think you had another life, but you haven't. You've never been here before. And when you go, you never back. They lie.
No, but like from what I heard, it was like, so these were like old things he talked about, like back in like 2010 or 2009. He was saying like, so when you die, then you know your DNA goes into like the ocean, and then it goes into the basalt mines, and then you know if creation was the hello.
Creation stops that process. If creation chooses, creation stops that process, so that they cannot do that.
Okay,
but I'm talking about the collection of DNA at death. What coroners do, that's what they do. And that's what funeral homes do, is they take a sample off your body of your DNA. That's what they do. And then it gets sent to the genetic engineers. It goes back to your original recipe that you came from, and they clean out what they don't want, and they add to what they do want, and then a part of you comes back some years from now, even with more problems, or if you're a bureaucrat, even nastier. That's what they've been doing with people.
Yeah, from what I understand, like how I see things is like all these problems in the world can be narrowed down to genetic engineering. The reason why people are so ignorant about it, like, and how it continues and perpetuates itself, because people don't know that they've been engineered, and you know, because the debate is always the creation versus, or evolution versus creation 6,000 years ago, and they always keep the debate at that. For most, you know, atheists, Christians, you know, Muslims, atheists. It's always, the debate is always at that level, but they never tell you the third option, where it's actually a little bit of both.
Polarization.
What?
Polarization. They make two teams fight each other, and the third option is not given to us.
Well, there's not any teams fighting each other. There's each group.
No groups. I'm saying
with their genetic engineers doing their genetic engineering of people.
Yeah.
And it's been that way for tens of thousands of years.
Yeah.
So this is not any new technology. But paradise is not down below. Paradise is a place further forward in the universe right now. That's where paradise is. That's where people are waiting. They're waiting to go in there, or they're waiting in there. And they're waiting to go to the next universe.
But they can't go unless we do that form.
They're further forward in time because the universe is that big. They're just further forward in time, but they're in the same universe still.
Okay. One thing. Wait, I'm thinking what happened here. So about the Glenn did mention like the Hakeem Boaz computer and like 144,000 idiot savant brains being networked into one big brain. That's still alive down there, right?
That's down below.
And in a modal discontinuity, are there people still there?
The modal discontinuity is peopled by Neanderthals, and Neanderthals are basically female. Most of them are female. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's the group that came to creation, the 13 that came to creation and said, we want to run it. We can do it. And creation, said, okay. And then they hijacked the universe by what they did.
That's why you see like symbols like Medusa. It's a symbol of a female with all these snakes on her head, all attached to one head, right? It suggests knowledge, wisdom, all in one area. It's a computer. And it's female because females have... They're the ones in power.
Do you mean Amazonians, right?
Amazons also are down there. They have to cooperate. They have to cooperate with Neanderthals for them to have any. Huh?
I thought Neanderthals were male. Like, didn't he say that they were male? Okay.
Nope. That's again. I'm trying to tell you that it's a process.
Okay.
Okay. And Glenn has learned by process because in the earlier days, I see some issues of the Kealey Papers where he talked about creator and anti-creator, and it was because he didn't know then, he wasn't sure. That's why things are a process. Because
it's a work in process. Yeah, it was a work in progress he was describing.
Learn exactly with time what it is that is really going on.
But the main story of what he said never changed. It was just he learned facts, different facts, and it wouldn't change the main story, but it would, you learn a fact here, and so.
By 2010 or 11, somewhere in there, he told me, creation is basically more or less female, and and created all of the universes, 26 of them, and we are, then later. I don't know, I think it was after 2016, and he told me that there was, we're in the fourth universe, and it is the first one in which humans have made an appearance, and that there is a 27th area in the middle of these universes, which are all arranged side by side in a circle. And there is something in the middle, it's called 27. And he also told me he told me that after but he told me that the cell called me number 27. And so that there's some kind of something there, but I still don't know everything yet. So I'm in process.
Yeah. Okay.
But maybe that's part of why you're still here too. You got to learn, right? You still have to.
Yeah.
He told me that creation. He kept stressing to me, no, they're not in control. But Glenn, look where they put me. Look what they did. No, they're not in control. Creation is in control. But Glenn, why am I here? Oh, down here I should be with you. Because creation wants you there. Creation has some very important things for you to learn there. And it's too dangerous here for you. They weren't allowed to kill you. They were only allowed to make sure you were down there. Which I didn't like to hear, but that's the truth of it.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
But Dana's calling me.
Oh, finally.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh.
Is he coming here?
I don't know yet. I'm texting him.
Okay.
I think going forward, now with these calls, I'm gonna plan ahead and just touch base with more people and just start using different avenues on the internet and stuff, and just putting it out there. And because there are people out there, Jennifer, that are interested and have emailed me, but
yeah,
a lot of people, some people, they just kind of in their comfort zone, and some people feel like they don't want to be known or heard by I guess maybe out of fear, and some but I generally I see that there are people out there. They're few and far between, but there are people out there who are looking at all this stuff and listening to all this stuff and researching, but they're kind of in background. So
I see Dana right now. He's on here.
What's up, Dana?
How you doing?
Hey, Dana, do you remember me?
Who's me?
Musa Khan?
Okay.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
Yeah, man. How's everything going?
Great. I decided to drop by and just say apologize for my stuff on the internet, my side accounts and all that crap.
Okay. Cool.
I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah?
How many Christmas songs did you have to sing?
I mean, who's on the call?
Jenny, me. A guy named Ben was on. The guy Ben Smart. Ben, he called, but for some reason, on his end, I think it was. Yeah, it was just so much interference, man. You couldn't even hear, like, it was just, to me, it was just kind of frustrating. It was just, every time he would talk, it was just, it sounded like his microphone was just rubbing hard on like a fabric or something. And this guy Musa, his microphone was doing it too.
No, it's better now, right?
Yeah, it's clear.
No, it's because my laptop's like on a table. I think I was moving it back and forth, but now I guess you can't hear the interference, right? It's not the microphone. I think it's because the air rubs against the microphone. That's why you can hear that stuff. And that's why mics need a cover to block that static noise.
So yeah, I'm gonna try. I was just saying before, I want to try to have like a better networking and getting people together on board to get on the call, and discussing all the stuff. Because there are people, I guess, who do want to talk about this stuff, but I haven't put a platform for that for people in a long time. Because years ago, I used to do that. We used to just talk with all these people who were interested in these subjects.
Yeah.
But then, as I was, calling with Glenn, it was just kind of like a 1, 2, 3 person thing, and it just worked out better like that. Glenn had an important message to get out there, and yeah. Anyway, how'd it go? Did your son like that present you got him? Or?
Yeah. Everything was good. Is that Jenny?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Hey, Jenny. I didn't catch your name before when you were saying, how are you?
Yeah, I'm here.
You eat anything good? Trade me a plate.
You're always welcome. I got leftovers.
I made some ribs earlier. I'm basically home by myself. I'm all alone, man, by myself.
Wait, where's the family? Where are they?
In Canada.
In Canada? Why are you not with them?
I have to work.
Oh, okay.
I'm off today and tomorrow. Anyway. So Jenny was saying some interesting stuff. She actually mentioned something about Neanderthals being female. That's something that...
Yeah, that's something Glenn and I have been talking about for the last month before he died.
Yeah.
He was talking about that.
No, is it because what he actually meant was they were hermaphroditic or something? Is that what he meant?
Huh? What?
He meant that Neanderthals were hermaphroditic. That's why he said female.
No, they're female.
Okay.
From what I understood and how it was when I looked at the coding and stuff.
Yeah.
It seemed like the Neanderthals, right, and Amazons, they had a relationship which could best be described as a dysfunctional relationship. like a marriage, like a really bad marriage. And so,
say again, which two? Neanderthals and what?
Amazon.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and all the symbolism that I saw,
It was cooperate to have produce more. So I think there's a whole world they have, that's not talked about here. So I think they have a lot going on, from what I can gather.
Yeah, they have their own like world, though. It's just a different world down there.
Yeah.
And supposedly, I guess, apparently they're very advanced in like type of technology they use.
Well, if you want to know, like thousands and thousands of years in advance about, precession of the equinoxes, yep, you already know.
Yeah.
And the cycles that this planet does, and they know about, the cycles of global warming.
Mm-hmm.
They know all of that. So I would say that they are well aware of what's going on right now, and that it's not anything new.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's presented like, we're just discovering this now. We just discovered computers in the 80s or the 90s. The internet is brand new, ARPANET, or whatever, all these like lies and stuff. In a sense, we're like living in the past. Like it's like we're in their past that they created.
They're not going to tell anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, they're leaking out. Media leaks out a bit more stuff now, but they don't come right out and say it.
Yeah. 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 So. Yeah, there's so much. There's a whole reality out there that's just not told to people.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sad, stealing your birthright is one thing. Stealing, say, like something physical from you is one thing, but to steal and your reality, to rob you of your reality, that's a high crime, I consider.
Yeah.
Crimes against. Yeah. You still there, Zaina?
Yeah.
What do you
How long you guys been on this call?
What happened? We've been on this call a while. I'm actually thinking of getting off soon because it's been a while. But I definitely want to get on again. But like I'll try to plan it out better and do it like well ahead of time so everyone can get like prepared.
Jared, do you want to do a Google Hangout? Is that worth it?
Now?
No, like for your future talks.
I don't do Google Hangouts.
Google. Stay away from Google.
Okay.
The go-go. That's
Okay.
the go-go. Like a go-go girl. A go-go girl is like a warped version of what I guess the original, the dancer, right? So a go-go girl is kind of like, oh, that looks nice, but it's not really saying anything. Which is kind of like with Google, right? It's like, oh, it's an incredible system to find all this knowledge, they say, but when you look at it, you find that they actually hide a lot of knowledge, and they just found, like, I was learning, and all the stuff with like the internet and stuff, they learned, like, they did like comparisons. They would like search, when you search through Google, and you could see that like say with Hillary Clinton, right? Or if you would Google like or Donald Trump, you'll see that all the searches are all skewed in a certain way, like very, very controlled, because it's right. It's the media. Google's when you go on the internet, it's like the media.
No. What I actually meant was, like, on your YouTube channel, Glops 360, you can upload a new video. Like, you can stream a new video, but now you're saying Google Hangouts, and it's a bad idea. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Why do more? Like, why are you already using TalkShoe?
No, but like, because people are subscribed to your channel on YouTube, and so, I mean, like, whoever.
I haven't uploaded to YouTube in years, because now, as I'm seeing now, like, they're like purging everybody on YouTube. It's not what it was, like, say 10 years ago. It's very different now. But that was always the plan from the beginning, when they even designed YouTube, because they said it in their name, YouTube. They used to, when a video was deleted, they used to say it was aborted on YouTube. They say your video is aborted, and that's just telling you. They're saying that YouTube is a reference to the ovarian tubes.
Or abortion. Abortion.
Saying that you're going to be aborted. We're getting rid of you. It's like a little inside joke.
So I guess TalkShoe probably is better because it's safe.
I don't know about safety. There's no safety anywhere.
Well, I mean, in case they don't. What? In case they don't, like, delete your stuff. I mean, I know they delete you have the old TalkShoes right before 2015.
They deleted my stuff on TalkShoe as well.
No, but do you still have it?
Yeah, from like 2013 to like to the beginning when I started talking to Glenn, they deleted.
Wait, it was already deleted? Wait, you're saying
they deleted it. They deleted a bunch of talk. If you go back into the archives and talk, you'll see that, like, it stops at like 20, I think
15,
16 or 15 or something.
No, but I'm saying,
the talks went all the way back to 2009.
But do you have those talks though? You don't have
what?
Them? The ones from 2009.
I have audio
have
files on like hard drives and stuff, but I did not title, so I don't know which date I was. I wanna go in. I've been meaning to go in. What happened?
The whole project to kind of go through and sort them all out, because unless we downloaded them, because when you uploaded the talk, you titled it, so just like the raw file of it is just like coded number, right? It's just like a file number. So we'd have to go through every single one that we have and figure out where they were and kind of do like some chronological thing and re-upload them. And It's
Oh
just a
yeah,
project we have.
that would suck. Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, okay, I understand. Yeah.
I mean,
we don't
there's
know if we have all
another
of them.
platform called like BitChute or something. Apparently, it's people have more freedom to like upload and share their material there. A lot of people use those platforms. I mean, not a lot of people, but it's an alternative apparently to YouTube. But Zach. I don't know if Zach and a friend of another guy, Andy. We've all kind of been discussing of like having a website with all of this stuff, all the stuff Glenn talked about, and kind of have everything in one area, and just having video. I wanted to get more into like video recording and creating stuff related to this, and Zach wanted to be involved in that, and so I don't know. Hopefully, it's a money thing. I wanted to have money to get a camera. I gotta save up for that, and I just got a new computer recently, so it's kind of like a step-by-step thing for me. It's not something that's happening overnight. But I'm determined to start, creating all this type of stuff again. With help from other people, of course. But I can't do this stuff by myself. It has to be like a team effort. And we have to know what direction we're going in and what we're trying to get out there. Anybody there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah,
I'm
I
here
guess
too.
Zach couldn't. I don't know. I sent Zach the email. I guess he probably was with family or something.
No,
Probably.
actually, me and Zach, we planned on talking. Like, I was gonna talk to him, but then I saw your post on investigation, so I hopped over here and I told Zach that you're having a new conversation. I messaged him.
Okay.
But maybe he was busy or something. So he told me he was available like around 3 or 4 o'clock or something. After.
Yeah, well, he never got back to me, so I assume he was, doing something with his family. Yeah. We're at 2 hours and 53 minutes.
Yeah, it's funny because with Glenn, those were usually like an hour or hour and a half maximum, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
2 hours maximum.
Like what why the like? Is it because he was busy on the
He had
farm?
responsibilities. He had a farm to run.
Okay. Yeah.
And I've noticed when you were talking about things, after about an hour, it starts to turn into like this. It kind of works better when you kind of have it all in an hour and a half, and then you just continue at another time.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. No, it's funny because like with Glenn, it was around 1 or 2 hours, but whenever you had a group chat, that would be a while. Like I think your longest one was 8 hours one time, wasn't it?
No, that wasn't with Glenn. Glenn was not on the phone with us.
No. What I'm saying is when you had a group chat with other people, those would go on for a long time sometimes.
Yeah,
Like you,
but that's,
yeah,
like,
like,
no one's trying to listen to people for 8 hours.
no, or maybe it was.
Time.
No, maybe it wasn't 8 hours. Maybe it was like mute. So it was a while. Like I found your other talk show where you had a group chat and they were lengthy.
But yeah, those were like kind of like this, like 6 hours. There was a lot more people, and that was probably 11 years ago. Last time we did one of those.
Yeah, we were like in different places back then. You know, it was just discovering, learning certain things. You know. No, I find, learning things when I'm learning, like, you get to like bounce ideas off of other people, or like I learn by talking to other people when they ask me questions, and then it like makes me think in a certain way, like, oh, like I think of it like this from this angle. You know? It's kind of like a skill you develop. You know, it's kind of like when Glenn developed that skill walking around, going around Canada and giving seminars. He's actually learning. He says he's teaching, but he's actually learning as well. Like doing all that. Yeah. That's what I learned. I learned something similar when I would just talk to so many people on the internet who were interested in this type of stuff. By all the different questions they threw at me, I got better at describing and putting it into words. So. But then, at that point in time back then, I wasn't really working like that. I had a lot of free time. But ever since I started going and working, like in corporate America, it's like it's like they want all your time. They want all your time. You know? So much so, like when you don't, even when you're done working, you just want to sleep. Your brain, like, when I would get like on talks with like Andy, he'd call me up or something, and it'd be like after work or something. I can't even contribute to a conversation because my brain is just so foggy.
Tired, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think it's now a good time to conclude.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we should probably stop because, as you said, 1 hour discussion. So, are you done right now?
Are we done with you?
No. You were saying that you prefer to have these talks last an hour and a half, right?
Yeah, I mean, if no one has anything to contribute or add to the conversation, if no one's saying anything, then what's the point?
Yeah. Anyone have any topics?
All right. Until next time, let's leave it at a cliffhanger.
Yeah, and when people, I noticed too, like when you have when someone say going through those, looking at like that talk, when they see 3 hours, that's not something that's gonna there's something that they'll be readily want to listen to. It's like a video. You see a video on YouTube, 3 hours, you're not watching that. But if it's like, whatever, 15 minutes, people are more inclined to watch that. You know, But an hour, hours, I think is cool. Hour and a half, 2 hours tops. But if that works. Hour.
Or unless you take the extra step and edit it down into segments and then upload that.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, that's why I'm talking about like this new computer and just having all this, just having to take the tools to do all that stuff. But with that comes the time, But really, it's just the will. If you have the will to do it, if you want to do it.
All right, I guess that's it then.
Okay, well, it was a pleasure speaking with you, Jared. I'll have to maybe talk to you next time, so you guys can still talk. Have a good night and Merry Christmas, even though it's, I don't believe in holidays anyways, holy days, but so hopefully things are better with you. Hopefully I touch base with you. All right, good night.
Right.
And then let me know if, okay, see you.
Oh, anyway. All right, guys, I guess we'll set something else up next time.